Good afternoon, singles. Welcome again to the Apex channel and Sunday Single Shorts. So glad today to be starting a new series that I think you'll be excited about. We're calling this series Biblical Breakup. Breaking up is very difficult, no matter who you are, but especially if you're a Christian and you're trying to, you realize a relationship is at its end, especially if you know that the other person is not feeling the same, that they're feeling that the relationship should go forward, that there's a lot of potential in the relationship and you're feeling the exact opposite. In some cases, the other person is the one feeling the relationship is at an end, and you're not feeling that. You're feeling the relationship's moving forward. So how do you biblically break up? How do you tell someone, as a Christian, how do you tell someone that you no longer want their company? I know as a funny side of looking at this is that I had a friend one time that told me he broke up with his girlfriend this way. He told her, he said, "Nancy, you're wonderful, you're amazing, you're incredible, and I don't know how I would do without you, but starting tomorrow, I'm going to try." So I don't necessarily recommend that approach, but we're going to talk about some approaches to this problem, because how do you biblically break up? How do you remain friends if that's possible? How do you move beyond that, especially if you're in the same circles? If you're in the same singles group, if you're in the same Apex chapter, you have to see that person again. So how do you behave when you see them again? Also, after this video, I'm going to play another video that it's hilarious. It's a Sesame Street video, but what do you do if someone won't give up? If you are convinced the relationship's over and someone absolutely will not give up. So as a part of this series, as we go through the next few sessions, we're going to talk to one of our Apex members that is a police officer, very experienced with this type of thing. We're going to talk with an attorney that is also an Apexer that's going to give you some advice on how do you biblically break up. And I'm going to bring that angle for it from you. But then what happens if it can't be amicable? What if it goes wrong? You have introduced yourself to the wrong type of person. Let's face it, it's 2019. There's sociopaths out there. There's psychopaths out there. There's very dangerous people out there, and you need to know not only how to handle yourself with people that are going to react well, but you need to prepare yourself for those that are not going to react well. And many times, people they're not going to, if they don't take it well, even if they at first take it well, there's going to be hard feelings. And how do we deal with that? How do we move beyond the hard feelings that come with a breakup? I remember one funny story that I tell is I got into a situation one time where I had to do a breakup, and I broke up with the girl. Unfortunately, I was dropping her off at the time. I had to work the next morning, and then for the next 4 evenings, she was at my house when I got home from work, waiting on me, and she wanted to continue to talk about it. And so I, for the next 4 days after that, continued to explain to her, and she just simply wasn't giving up. So I flipped the switch on the last day, and because I figured, okay, this approach isn't working. So I told her, I've changed my mind, and let's give this another shot. So she took that 10-minute conversation. She headed home. The following Tuesday, we were going out, and I told her, I said, I have completely changed my opinion, and I don't know how I could have been so wrong, but I think Now I think not only was I wrong, we shouldn't break up, but I think we should get married. And you could see her countenance kind of change. That was not at all. She didn't expect the about face. And so then I told her, I said, yeah, and I really think that it should be a Star Wars based wedding. We should have all the best men dressed as Chewbacca. And then I had the whole thing laid out. I had went on the internet. I had downloaded pictures. I had all these photos of how Star Wars weddings could be done. We could have a wedding cake done like the Death Star. And so I had the whole thing planned out. I had put a lot of thought into it over the last couple of days. And so I finished that, and she was kind of quiet. And then shortly after that, she headed home. And the next day after that, she called me and said, I've been thinking about the whole scenario. And she thinks, you know what? I think maybe we should take some time apart and see other people. So I hope that it doesn't come for you guys to where you have to have drastic approaches to that problem. But it is out there. Some people have a really tough time with letting go. And so we're going to talk through biblical breakup over the next few sessions. What can we do biblically? How do we do it as Christians? And how do we react if they do not take it well? And what resources are out there? And we're going to hear from some experts on the inside that are going to help us to know what to do as far as breaking up. So anyway, I hope you'll join us over the next few sessions for our Sunday Singles Shorts. And thanks so much for joining us today. If you haven't subscribed to our channel, make sure you subscribe. Make sure that you're emailing in your questions. I'll drop the email address below. Drop in your questions that you might have for a video. You guys are always sending in some good ones. And then stay tuned. We've got some great new videos coming up as well for our online small group series. That's going to be great as well. So thanks so much. Have a pleasant Sunday afternoon. We'll talk to you soon. Thanks.
Little Benny had a cat that they wouldn't let him keep, so he put her up for sale at a price he thought was cheap. He took her to a neighbor to ask him for advice. He said,
"Just leave the kitty here. She'll help me with the mice."
But the cat came back. She wouldn't stay away. She was sitting on the porch the very next day. The cat came back. She didn't want to roam. The very next day it was home sweet home. Little Benny met a man who was driving way out west. He would give the cat a ride as a special honored guest. The steering wheel was wobbly. He drove into a tree. The car was just a total wreck, as anyone could see. But the cat came back. She wouldn't stay away. She was sitting on the porch the very next day. The cat came back. She didn't want to roam. The very next day it was home sweet home. Then he bought a gun from the human cannonball. He put the cat inside and tried nitro-toluol. When Benny pulled the trigger, the cannon made a roar. The neighbors all surrendered because they thought it was a war. But the cat came back. She wouldn't stay away. She was sitting on the porch the very next day. The cat came back. She didn't want to roam. The very next day it was home sweet home. Last words, here we go. Little Benny gave the cat to a man who had a bomb. Took the cat away, she was acting cool and calm. And then the bomb exploded, it made an awful sound. They looked and looked for ages and the man was never found. But the cat came back, she wouldn't stay away. She was sitting on the porch the very next day. The cat came back, She didn't want to roam. The very next day, it was home sweet home. Very nice. Woof, woof.
Meow.